What's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
Man, look at you got the tan going on, everything, huh?
That's what happens when you live in Arizona and the sun's out every day.
So are you actually in Sedona now, or are you at home now?
We were.
Okay.
Yeah, we're home now. Yeah, it's only about an hour and 20-minute drive. We got up there, we hiked for about an hour and a half.
I love
It
it.
was sick. It was
I
sick.
love
It
it.
was so
Yeah.
pretty.
Well,
Yeah.
we went to the boulders, man, and did the whole
The
camelback.
Yeah, that's you're the Polders is 3 miles, 4 miles from where we live right here.
Yeah.
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 It's
So,
great. It's great.
well, listen, we
It's
appreciate
great.
you doing this for the girls for their little project, man. So,
I love it. I'm
isn't that
glad
cool?
I can help.
I know.
Yeah,
so,
I love
so,
it.
so
I
you got
love
5 questions. You got Kai is up first,
Hello.
and they got
Hi,
their
Kai.
shirts on. You see the shirts?
Oh my gosh, you look so good. Look at you. You guys are sporting and representing. I love it.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
All right,
great.
well, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. You must be missing volleyball right now.
My
I
sister
am.
is,
You guys.
but
Yes, both of you guys must be missing a lot of stuff right now.
Oh,
It's going to
yeah.
be terrible.
a ton.
I feel for you.
It's okay.
I feel for you. Okay, go ahead. What we
All
got?
right, so first question is, with everything going on right now, what are you doing during this quarantine time to stay busy and active?
You know, it's really hard to stay busy. You have to. For me, I'm really lucky that my son is home,
Yeah.
and I'm very lucky that we all get along very well. I think that's one thing. So what we've been doing is we've been playing a lot of cards, we've been playing a lot of board games, and one thing, to tell you the truth, that we're doing that I haven't done too often is eating at home
Yeah.
and enjoying home time, right?
That's what we're doing a lot too.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, when you eat and drink a lot, the next thing that happens is the scale goes higher and higher, and the waist size gets bigger and bigger. So what we have been doing is finding really good workout videos, 45-minute workout videos on YouTube, and going in my back patio and doing these workout videos in my back patio.
That's
to
awesome.
to YouTube. And it's kind of funny because people are walking by our back and see us jumping up and down and doing all these stuff in the backyard. And so I guess, hey, listen, again, you have to be humble, and you can't worry about making a fool of yourself sometimes. It's all
Yeah.
about doing what's right for you, right? So,
Exactly.
and you know what? A lot of family time. I think it's good to have a lot of family time. And for me, it's been really good.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
I love it.
Okay, second question. I think this one would be good for me too. I mean, I guess but you don't play volleyball anymore on a team. So this one is, what is one trait you feel that makes a great teammate?
Wow.
Or it could be a couple traits,
Listen,
but
no, I think, you know what, to be a good leader is really important. And I think you can say the things that a good leader should say, but it's the person that goes out and does it. So it's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to do it. So when you go out and you put the work in, when people see you practicing, when people see you staying extra, doing extra time, a good teammate is someone who's there to back up your teammate when they make mistakes, to have their back, but also to be there to protect them and to be there to support them. To me, that's the best teammate. To be prepared is the best teammate, and the only way you're going to be prepared is to put the work in. And you know what, and I say this a lot of times. You know what the difference between a star and a superstar is? It's not much. It's not much, because they all have talent, right? But a star has the ability that when they get tired or they get sore or they just don't want to do it anymore, they stop.
Yeah.
The superstars push themselves 3 or 4 more times, push themselves to stay 15 minutes more, push themselves to put 15, 20 minutes more into the gym, shoot more pucks, volley more serves, shoot more serves, get more spikes, do more blocks, do 15, 20 more. The people that hurt the most, that don't listen to the pain, those are the people that usually get to be superstars.
I like that.
Mhm.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, third question. What is that? So as one of the greatest hockey players of all time, what are things you did that you feel set you apart from others?
I love the game. I lived, I breathed, I ate, everything was about the game.
Yeah.
And to be dedicated. If you don't love what you're doing, if you don't love the game, you're not going to put everything into it. So for me, it was the passion of being on the ice. It was the passion of working. It was the passion of being involved in the game. And when you have a passion and a love for it, you're going to put everything into it. And for me, it was my passion and my love for the game of hockey that I think set me apart more than other people. I made sacrifices to play the game. I didn't have the normal high school that maybe you guys are getting ready to enjoy. Parties and going out with my friends and going to the movies and all that stuff. I was the one that was practicing. I was traveling, playing, sacrificed a lot in order to make sure that I reached my goals. Sacrifice is hard because you don't want to be that person that is that your friends are like, oh, you're lame and you're this and you're that. Well,
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes you have to have thick skin.
Yeah.
Tough
So
skin.
even being at that level that you were at, like, would you say that there were players that you were with and played against that like didn't have that passion still?
100%. I think in every single level, you see it. And when you have a passion for the game, you know the game, you see the game, you read right through people. And people read through you. They know if you bought in. They know if you're in. They know when you're out. They know when they're giving 100%. And you see it in your sport. You see it when you're around your friends.
Yeah.
And you know when they're giving it their all. And you know when they've quit. And you're not gonna fool people. They see right through it.
True.
Yeah, they do.
That's crazy.
Yep, it is true.
Okay. Aside from someone's calling me.
Nope.
1 second. Okay. Aside from Chicago, what city or team did you really look forward to playing? And okay, that one first. Do that one first. Because there's 2 parts.
What team that I enjoyed playing for? What team that I enjoyed playing against?
To
Look forward to playing.
look forward to playing again.
So I always loved going up to Toronto and playing in Toronto. Old Maple Leaf Gardens was one of the oldest buildings in the world. It had so much history. It had, playing up in Toronto, we're playing in front of crazy, rabid hockey fans that know the game. And they appreciate the game, and they will appreciate it no matter who's playing in there. They might boo me, but the boos were actually a form of respect, right? Because if they didn't boo me, then I didn't do anything that made them mad. But to play in Toronto, again, in front of very knowledgeable hockey fans, to play in the city that is so is such a big hockey town, in an old building, that was my favorite place to play.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's
And
good.
then, is there any specific player that like you got really excited to play against?
Well, there's one player that I was always afraid to play against. And I don't know if there's anybody that I really enjoyed playing against, but one person that I feared a lot because he was so intimidating was Mark Messier. And you pull up a picture of Mark Messier and see what he looks like. He's one of the most intimidating people ever. And he would slash your ankles, he would break your ankles, he would break your wrists just to win a hockey game. And he was good. And he was not going to be denied. And if you beat him, you were going to beat him with pain. You were not going to beat him easily. And that's something I respected.
That's scary. So, for the last question, outside of hockey, what was the most inspirational story that you've experienced?
So, I mean, I've seen so many. Hey, babe, what's the name of the what was that guy's name? The ex-vet that I ran into on the plane. What's his name? Huh? Yeah, Travis what? Travis Mills, yes, that's his name. So I got on an airplane, or I was getting on an airplane, and I saw a guy get escorted onto the airplane, and he was just walking, and I saw him from a distance, but he got escorted onto the plane. I got on the plane. I was sitting in first class, and he was sitting right next to me across the aisle. And I noticed he had no legs and no arms.
Wow.
And I started talking to him, and he introduced himself as Travis Mills. He was one of the first quad amputees from Afghanistan. And he actually reached over to shake my hand, and I shook his fake hand, and he pulled it, and this hand came right off in my hand. And he screamed, and he screamed at me. He goes, "Oh my God, you broke my hand! You took my..." And I was like, I freaked. I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." He goes, "I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding." He goes, one of the cool things about being an amputee, you can mess with people.
That's so
So,
funny.
to have a guy that went over to represent our country and to support our country and to protect our country and to have close to the ultimate sacrifice, and getting all 4 of his limbs blown off in a roadside IED, and to have that kind of personality where he can still have fun, he can still make fun of it, he can still talk to people about being strong, he can talk to people about being the strength and the perseverance. And he has a camp up in Maine where he has a lot of ex vets, or Vietnam vets, and then also from Afghanistan and all that stuff. They go there to pretty much get counseled by him. It's a pretty special guy.
Wow. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
JR, I know
cool.
that, listen, I know you tell the story all the time, and it's such a cool story. I think for the girls to hear is, obviously aside from being, like a brother to me and great guy, great friend, great husband, great father, tell them the quick story about when you were young and
Gordy.
Yeah. I think it's just so cool, man. Yeah, and how that sort of, continued your, what you do for the kids, because obviously I see it during the camp and how you're there for 12, 14 hours a day, but that whole thing I think is pretty special, man.
Yeah, I think we all have people that we look up to, and being an athlete, being a celebrity, being whatever, there are people that look up to us. So when I was 7 years old, I was playing hockey in Connecticut, and we just finished practice, and the Hartford Whalers were going on to skate right after us. So all of us go up and hang over the glass. We're all watching I'm 7 years old, watching the pros go by, and the pros are on the ice, so we're watching, with our mouths wide open. And Gordie Howe skated by, and he dumped a whole bunch of snow on my head. Yeah. Now Gordie Howe, his nickname is Mr. Hockey. So he is known as probably the greatest player in the history of the game of hockey.
Really?
Him, Gretzky, and Bobby Orr are 3 of the guys who is to argue who is the best player of all time. Wow. And he dumped snow on my head. And he came around, and he skated around, and he came back and winked at me. And I was like, that was so cool. That was like the most unbelievable, for 30 seconds, it was like me and Gordie Howe, and nobody else. He didn't dump snow on other kids' heads. He did it on my head. So I thought that was the coolest thing, and he gave me a story. That was a story that I told. I told my friends, I told my family, I told my teachers, and I'm telling it now at 50. So what I took out of that is that whether it's 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 30 seconds, you can change somebody's life and give people a story or make people feel good by doing something that's very simple. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to take a lot of planning. All it takes is having a care and having feelings and wanting somebody to feel good and wanting to send that message, right? Yeah. It's a message of hey, I know you're there. I think I'm always a big guy that says I want to make sure that that I appreciate you being here. And that's what Gordie Howe did for me. And he gave me a story that I tell my whole life, and I try to do that for people every single day, kids, grown-ups, whatever. Always take time. Always know that you're appreciative. Always have a couple seconds just to care, right? So.
Well, you know what? Hey, seriously, even before, we started doing the camp, and I got to tell the girls this. I don't know if you remember, but the thing that was really cool is that, we were if you remember, we're in Chicago, and we were at and Michelle.
Steakhouse.
Yeah, Tricky was there, but he was there, and we were sitting, and a guy just walked by the window with your jersey on, and you ran out of the restaurant.
That's right. Ran out
of the restaurant, called him, signed his autograph, brought him in. I mean, when I saw that, I was just like, man, that
so
that
cool.
stuff is so special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's important, and I bet you he's still telling that story today.
I know.
Kev,
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
And it doesn't take a lot of effort. It doesn't take a lot of effort, but and I think that's what's great, right?
Yep.
It's to care. There's too many people in this world that don't care.
Right.
Don't be one of them.
Well, man, listen, we appreciate you doing this, man. I'll give you a call after we hang up here, but love you, man. Seriously.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely. And by the way, you guys look fantastic.
Thank you.
Your dad brags about you guys all the time, and I can see why.
Wait, hold on. Here comes the
Oh, there!
The important one is finally here.
The boss is there.
I was, of course,
right.
doing stuff in the house.
Well,
How are you?
You look fantastic. You holding up? Everything okay?
We're trying to. Yeah. Thank you
I
so
know.
much. Yeah.
I know.
You good?
I'm great. It's nice to have a little family time. My son's here, so
Good.
we're staying safe. I'm glad you guys are too. You guys your family is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Seriously.
brother. Love you, man.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Love you guys too. Be good.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.